Good morning, Ugly Mug marketing friends and followers. Welcome to another edition of Ugly Mug Marketing Coffee Chats, the live show where we drink coffee and talk about marketing, leadership, business, and everything in between. My name is Hannah Balliet, and I am the Director of Communications and Teaching here at Ugly Mug. And today I have the privilege of introducing today's very special guest. In fact, it's even his birthday. Today we have Michael Levine on the show. Michael is an author, publicist who is best known for representing 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, and 43 New York Times bestsellers. He has represented some of the biggest names in Hollywood, names that you would recognize like Michael Jackson, Barbra Streisand, and George Carlin, among many others. Michael holds a wealth of knowledge and experience, and I am really excited to ask him a bunch of questions that y'all have submitted to us, but for you to just eavesdrop in on our conversations and to interact here in the comments, whether you're watching live or catching this on the replay. Michael, happy birthday and welcome to Coffee Chats.
Thank you, and thank you for the birthday wish. That's so very kind of you, and yeah, I'm really very pleased to be here, and thank you so much for sharing your valuable audience with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I am really excited because, as you know, leading up to this, we asked our friends and our followers to submit questions. And so I want to start off before I dive into all of their questions. Tell us a little bit about what your life was like growing up and that transition from living on the East Coast and making it to Hollywood.
So I was born, Hannah, about 2.5 miles north of Ground Zero.
Okay.
So I'm one of the very few Americans alive today that had the distinction of watching the World Trade Center be built
Mhm.
twice. I watched it the first time and then the second time.
Yeah.
And so I was born not into a good home, Hannah.
Mm.
There was alcoholism in my home. And that is a real challenge. When you're born into an alcoholic home, you're essentially raising yourself.
Yeah.
And so I had that real challenge. And then in addition to that, I had a disability that wasn't very well known at the time, but is much better known today. And that disability was dyslexia. And
Yeah.
so, 40 years ago, we had another name for dyslexia. It was called dumb. And so I barely graduated high school. I was a very bad student due to the dyslexia
Really?
and to the bad home. And I barely graduated high school. And so at 17, I left the house. Now that's very young for by today's standards,
It is.
but it was less so 40 years ago. Remember, people at that time at 17 or 18 were joining the army, they were leaving for college, they're leaving for work. There was no, it was inconceivable that a person over the age of 22 would be living with their parents. I mean, that just wouldn't happen. It was like no.
Yeah.
So I left the house at age 17. Now, at 17, Hannah, I was scared and skinny. I was without any education or parenting, had no money, no job, and I had dyslexia. So I had bad cards in the early days of my life. And, Hannah, if we think about people's lives, yours and others watching, we all get dealt different cards. Some of us get dealt bad cards and we play them pretty well. And
Yeah.
others of us get good cards and play them pretty badly. And others of us get medium cards and play them medium. So
Yeah.
life is really a journey, isn't it? About how we play our cards.
Mhm.
And the less time, this is something I want to say mostly to our young friends and to our minority friends. The less time you spend belittling and blaming the world for your cards,
Yeah.
the better off you're going to be. And what I'm really saying to your listeners and to you directly is that if you want to be broke, if you want to be exhausted, frustrated, and broke, there is no better plan that I know of than thinking of your life and yourself as a victim. Now, if you don't want to be broke, exhausted, and frustrated, then for the love of the Lord, don't think of yourself as a victim. You were born into America. America is not a perfect country, but it's awfully extraordinary in terms of giving people opportunities, hardworking people, that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is a story that was my early life. Now, at age 22, September 16th, 1977, I moved out to Los Angeles in search of a new canvas, in search of a new opportunity.
What made you choose Los Angeles? Like, what
Sure.
was the
Well,
draw?
all that really went into that choice was this. All my young life, I had two passions. You know, at 17, when you have no job and money and you like to eat, you have to think about what is it that you want to do and what is it that you can do and what is it that you love to do.
Yeah.
And all my young life, I had two passions. I had the passion around the entertainment industry, and then I had a passion around politics. And I decided that the entertainment industry was what I wanted to pursue.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
So what year was it you said you moved?
1977, I moved to LA, and I came upon through a friend of a friend of a friend.
Mhm.
Now, that's also an important note.
The
Who you
connections.
know, who you know,
Yeah.
um, who wants to know you,
Mm.
who is your network. You can't create a network by text alone. You can't create a network by email alone. So I would say to my young friends watching this, and to all friends watching this,
Yeah.
I have a piece of advice for you. Now, I'm not sure you're going to like it very much, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. And I promise you, if you'll give it some consideration, it may well serve you in a way that you can't fully understand at the moment I'm going to say it. And here it is. My advice to you is to please, for your own sake, stop hiding on planet email. Stop it.
I knew exactly where
Just
you were going with this.
stop it.
That's why I was
Stop
just
it.
laughing and smiling. Yes, it is so true. And we talk about that a lot at Ugly Mug because we use Basecamp and we use email.
Stop it.
Easier to text and to be behind that, but so much miscommunication and misinterpretation.
Yeah, well, that's
an
interesting point. I want to mention something to you, Hannah. Often, not always. Often, not always. Email and text are fertile gardens for misunderstanding and confusion.
Yes.
Often, not always.
Yep.
And I would argue further, Hannah, that if we have a viewer today that's young and engaged in 100 or 200 texts a day in and out, their life would be better served by reducing that texting by 95%. Now, of course, I understand as I say that they won't do that and that they'll think I'm out of my mind. But I'm not joking. who are we speaking to, whether it be in person, by Zoom, by who have you had coffee with in the last month? Who have you had lunch with in the last month? Because there is something unique that happens when food is engaged in a social setting. So anyway, those are some notes that I know that won't be particularly popular. I moved to LA. Through a friend of a friend of a friend, I met a woman who worked at Paramount Studios.
Okay.
Now, she was working in the publicity department, which was very uncommon at the time, meaning at that time, most women had secretarial jobs.
Yeah.
That's hard to imagine in today's world, but it is true. But I met a woman and she worked in the publicity department, and I asked her what she did, and she said she worked in the publicity department, and I said I didn't understand what that involved. And I said, "What do you do all day?" And she said, "What do I do all day?" I said, "Yes, what do you do all day?" And by the way, I said this in person. I didn't say it by text, by email. I didn't write a letter. I said it in person. I said, "What do you do all day?" And she looked at me. She was kind of puzzled. And she said, "What do I do all day? I bullshit on the phone." And I said,
Amazing.
"I can do that. I can do that." And so off we went. And I started a PR firm on June 1st, 1983. And I didn't really know what I was doing,
Yeah.
which is a real problem when you start a company. But Hannah, I learned something, and I want to share it with your audience and you, if I may.
Yeah. Please
You know,
do.
Hannah, we know each other a little bit, not very much, but I can tell you this, Hannah. I'm not very bright, but I am above average at watching what bright people do. And you know, Hannah, that's been damn helpful. Now, I want to tell you another secret, if I may. Hannah, as good as I am at watching what bright people do, and I'm above average there, I'm even better at watching what dopey people do. And isn't that helpful? My friends listening, my friends considering these ideas, laughing, wanting to make fun of them, maybe. If you will observe, if you will train your eyes to observe that which the exceptional people do, and then equally train your eyes to what the average or unexceptional people do, you will get a lot of data. And of course, my recommendation is, dear friend, brother, sister, children of the night, don't do what the dopey people do. Unless, of course, you want to be exhausted, broke, and frustrated. Now, if you want to be exhausted, broke, and frustrated, then do a lot of that dopey stuff.
Yep.
But if you do not want to be exhausted, broke, and frustrated, don't do much of that dopey stuff. May I offer an example, Hannah?
Yes, please do.
Now, Hannah, this is a true story. I was giving a speech about it was before COVID. It was about 4 years ago. I was giving a speech in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was a group of about 300 Shark Tank-like entrepreneurs. That's a pretty good sized group. And I was talking to them, and these are young people in their 30s, 35. They had started a business a year or two ago, and they were smart and hungry. Think of Shark Tank and think of all those contestants. These were the young people, and they had it going on. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 300 people. And I gave a speech about an hour in length, questions, answers, comments, alternative speeches, all fun stuff. At the end of the speech, here's some interesting notes for you. Number one, about 25 of the people of the 300 stayed and visited with me after the speech. Now that means that out of 300, 280 had more important things to do, like go to the bathroom, like check their phone, but about 20, less than 10% stayed to talk. Interesting note. So I talked to several of them and they were impressive, and all different varieties of people, Hannah. Gay and straight, black and white, young and old, mostly in their 30s or 40s, fat and thin, all kinds of folks. And they were asking questions. They're so earnest, they're so enthused, and it was fun to talk to them. I looked into their eyes and I saw myself in some ways. And several of them, I said, you know, you're special. There's something about you. I don't know you, but there's something special or unique about you. You've started your business 2 years ago. I'm so proud of you. And it's enjoyable and interesting to meet you. May I have a business card? May I trouble you for a business card? And invariably, this is what I heard. A what? A what? I don't have a, but I left it in the car. I didn't know. What? Oh my God. OMG, OMG, OMG. I forgot it. I lost it. I ate it.
Yeah.
I had it in the car.
I ate it.
And I thought to myself, my friend, a business card? You don't? Well, you know, no one carries them anymore. It's really something. I don't think anyone can. I have my text. I can, if you just give me your text number, I'll text. And I said, son, plenty of people carry business cards. No, they don't. They don't. I promise you they don't. Yes, they do. May I tell you who they are? They run the Fortune 500 companies. Mm-hmm. See, they all carry business cards. Mm-hmm. And by the way, they're not that expensive. Vistaprint, $9.99. And so it is, and so it goes. So off we went, started a PR firm, didn't know much of what I was doing, asked a lot of questions. And then I discovered something, Hannah, that really had a deep impact on my life, and I'll share it with you. Mm-hmm. I couldn't keep up. And I wasn't as smart as you are. I couldn't keep up. So I had to, or felt I had to, go into the office on Saturday from 10:30 to 2:30. For 4 hours, I was going to go into the office and try to catch up because I was getting my ass kicked since I didn't know what I was doing. And I went into the office. I learned a couple of things rather quickly. May I share them with you?
Yes, please do.
Number one, easy parking. Easy parking. See, no one else is there.
Yep.
Easy parking. Number two, you know, because no one else is there, it's really quiet there. It's really quiet. So easy parking, really quiet. Now, I learned rather quickly, though I'm not very bright, but I learned it pretty quickly, that if you work in a quiet environment on a Saturday, all of the interruptions that happen during the course of a Monday through Friday don't happen. Mm-hmm. And those 4 hours, if you work with concentration and no interruption, had the effective value of 8 hours. So
I believe that.
I realized that if I worked 4 hours on a Saturday, I was really effectively working 8 hours. So I would go in on Monday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning with all my other associates, and I would be 8 hours ahead. See?
Mhm.
And so the game would begin, and they were much more experienced than I. So after a few days, they were able to catch those 8 hour lead that I had.
Mhm.
So I decided to go in on Saturday number 2. And then I figured out that 8 plus 8 equals 16. See, and then I was 16 hours ahead, and they could still catch me because I wasn't very bright or very experienced. But I went in on the 3rd Saturday, and then I figured out that 16 plus 8 is 24. And now I was getting a little harder to catch. But I went in on that 4th Saturday, and 24 plus 8 equals 32. And now it was getting rough for them to catch. Now, I have a question for you, Hannah. May I ask a question of you?
Sure.
All right. So, given what I've just said about the 4 Saturdays, do you think I kept going?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I did. I kept going. So now, here's some more questions for you, Hannah. You're a good guesser. Let's go. Hannah, what if a Saturday came on Halloween? Did I go in?
Yes,
Oh, you're good. You're good. What if a Saturday came on my birthday? Did I go in?
definitely.
Oh, you're good, darling. What if a Saturday came on Coachella? Did I go in?
Oh, 100%.
How about Burning Man, dear?
Mm-hmm.
How about Comic-Con?
Yep.
You're
No
good.
excuses. You were going in.
You're good at this. You could have made a lot of money if you'd bet me. See? So there we are. And through a lot of hard work, I got my first I got my first 2 celebrity clients. Now, one you're going to know and one you're not going to know, I believe. I'll tell you their names. The first celebrity client, 2 celebrity clients I got simultaneously. One was David Brenner and one was Joan Rivers. Now, both of them were very famous at the time.
Yeah.
David Brenner, both are no longer alive. Both comedians. David Brenner was very popular on The Tonight Show all the time. And he was one of the first clients. And Joan Rivers, of course, almost everyone knows, I think. And she was a client. And once you got the first couple, and I worked cheap. Now listen to me. This is good. Anyone who says to you, I can't get a job, Hannah, I've tried so damn hard. I've sent so many resumes. I said, darling, I'll get you a job in an hour. I'll get you a job in an hour. Now you're going to work for free, but I'll get you a job in an hour. See, free is tough to beat.
Yep.
And you don't have to do it long. See, a month or 2 and you don't have to do it long.
Yeah.
So I'll get anybody that's capable a job in an hour. But anyway, I worked the 2 first celebrity clients. I worked for very low wage,
Okay.
and that was fine because you don't have to do it long. It
Yeah.
won't be long, darling. It won't be long.
You're going to get that experience, and that also
And
I
you'll
can
get
imagine.
now that's a good one. Hannah, that's such a good one. Can I offer a thought? When the door of opportunity is open for you, you better damn well be attractive, or they may not let you in. Now, by attractive, I don't mean physically attractive. I mean have it going on.
Mhm.
Something special. So many people I see, so many of our younger friends, they look constipated to me, Hannah. They look constipated. I don't understand why they haven't learned how to smile.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they haven't learned how to say, "Good morning. How
Yeah.
are you?" I
Mhm.
don't know where inquisitiveness has been filleted out of their soul.
Yeah.
I don't know why when I say thank you, they say, "Uh-huh. Yeah, no worries." But I do know this. If you say yep to thank you, you're probably going to work in a job with a uniform and a name tag. See
Okay.
that? How's that? See, if you don't want to work for a job in a job with a uniform and a name tag, learn how to say you're welcome. Now, your mom and dad should have taught you that at about age 6. But if you didn't sign up for that class, let me help you now. Come on.
All right, y'all. You heard it here. We need to be saying you're welcome, not
Yes,
yes.
and we need to smile, and we need to ask questions, and we need to look like we're not constipated.
Yeah.
All right, so
So,
off we
so
go.
yeah, so you get these clients,
Yep.
you're kind of now you've got that credibility, right? I'd imagine you're in the
I'm
circle.
starting. I'm starting. And I'm still going in on Saturday, friend.
Yep.
See, I told you about that.
Yep.
And so there we are. And I'm asking lots of questions. And people I learn really do, many people of great success, high position,
Mhm.
many enjoy feeling in some way, consciously or subconsciously, like a godfather, a mentor. They
Okay.
do. They
Yeah.
do. Now, I asked a lot of questions, and many of them were helpful. And I watched. I watched closely. I watched. Um, when I went to a restaurant, I watched. I watched the good ones, the bad ones, the dopey ones, the smart ones, the interesting ones.
Yeah.
You know, a very long time ago, Hannah, I think you know this story a little bit. I got a telephone call about 20 years ago, something like that, from a person I did not know. And he said to me that he was a fan of a book I had written called Broken Windows, Broken Business. Now, this book has been a big success, and the note was very kind. Said that he was very, very intrigued by the book and appreciated it.
Mhm.
And he mentioned specific things about the book, specific parts of the book. And he said that he would be so interested in talking to me and maybe interviewing me about the
Mhm.
book. And of course, I didn't know this person, but I wrote him back and I thanked him for his time and told him how fond I was, appreciative. When you write a book, you never quite know who's going to see it. Anyway, that man did do an interview with me, and I instantly could tell as we were talking that this man had something going on. Young guy, smart, interesting guy. Didn't
Mhm.
really know him. Had a bit of a southern accent. But he was an interesting guy, and I kind of liked him. And after the interview, Hannah, it's a little strange. He did something real odd, maybe. He followed up. He
Mhm.
followed up. See, and that's a good note for our friends listening. Dear friends, listen carefully if you would. The fortune is in the follow up.
Yep.
Maybe you didn't hear me. Let me say it again. The fortune is in the follow up. So this young man followed up, and we developed a little bit of a friendship, and that's good and interesting. We talk about a bunch of stuff. And then I started asking him questions. And that man's name was Wayne Mullins.
Yep.
And he owned a company called Ugly Mug Marketing. And he lived down in Louisiana. I lived in LA. He said he was coming out to LA with his family. We met. We developed a bit of a friendship. I met his wife. He asked if I'd do a testimonial for his business, which I did by a phone, by his little iPhone. I didn't know how to do things like that. He did. He showed me, and we just developed a friendship. Now that friendship is 20 something years old.
Yeah.
And we've been good friends for a long time. And I learn at least as much from him. Probably now, the reality is I learn more from him than he does from me. But that's how life is. That's
Yep.
fun.
Mhm.
So, anyway,
Love that.
yes, it's a true story.
Yes, it is a true story. We actually used that story a little bit. I love that you brought that up. I didn't even ask you about it, but we did use that in the promotion for today too,
Right.
because
It's
I
all
feel
point.
like even some newer people on our team don't even know that story and how that connection was made. But
Yep.
what a testament to having it going on. Wayne Mullins had it going on.
Yeah, when the door of opportunity is open, you better damn well be attractive. And I don't mean physically attractive. I mean smart and interesting and memorable and charming and
Yes.
inquisitive.
Yeah.
Here's what I
Yep.
don't mean: constipated, frowning, look like you just woke up.
Whole new meaning to the word constipated now.
Well, there you go. I've brought it to you now. And all right, well, let me allow you, dear friend, to get your questions in because I've been running my mouth too much.
No, this has all been so great. So much wisdom and lessons in every single nugget. Now, a couple of questions that people
Sure.
left are more like industry
Sure.
specific and more about the work.
Go
And
for it.
one that our friend Dirk asked was, what is the difference between public relations and marketing? And then his follow-up question was, how has public relations been affected by the advent of social media?
So, brother Derek, where is Derek from, by the way?
Uh, Dirk is actually from Alexandria, Louisiana, and he is actually a really good friend of Wayne's.
Okay, brother Derek. In the soulful words of Marvin Gaye, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, Derek, a couple quick notes for you. Now, let's talk about marketing and public relations, shall we? Marketing is just a fancy word used by you fancy folks for
Mhm.
sales.
Yeah.
That's all marketing is, sales. See? So that's a generic category. Public relations is something a little different, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's we all have, Derek, in our brains a logical side and an emotional side. And how people emotionally feel about a product, a service, a business owner can deeply affect their decision around a purchase decision,
Mm,
right?
yes.
And so public relations is a method of storytelling, a method of communicating. You see, what you say about yourself, Derek, is real important, particularly to yourself in your own
Mhm.
mind. But what people say about you is even more important. See, if Hannah tells me she's bright, that's pretty cool. But if somebody else that I know, like, and respect tells me Hannah's bright, that's even cooler. So
Mhm.
public relations is a storytelling process, right? And in the end, you know this, Derek. You're too damn bright not to know it. Facts tell, stories sell.
Mm.
So I have a PR and branding firm called boundlessmediausa.com. You can go online, learn about storytelling and how to do that. And then we have, of course, our media friends, radio and television and newspaper and magazine and internet, all very important. Right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our friend Derek, he says, now look, Michael, let's cut the jive here. How did public relations change from back in the ancient days when you and the dinosaurs were hanging around?
Yeah.
How did it change? Now we got the social media. So, Derek, let's pay attention together. Derek, the metabolism rate of the universe, of the world, has unalterably changed. If you haven't figured that out, you're not bright enough to own a business. See, Derek, the metabolism rate, the speed, today, a day, an hour is a day is a month is a year.
Mhm.
Fast, fast, fast. You got to go fast. Now let's talk about winning teams for a minute, dear Hannah. Winning teams are fast. Winning teams are accurate. Winning teams are passionate. And
Yeah.
winning teams are careful. Losing teams are slow, apathetic,
Mm.
careless. See,
Yep.
if you want to be on a winning team, you don't do the things that losing teams do. You do the things that winning teams do. And if I haven't mentioned it, Derek, would you please do me a favor and write it down? You must know what a pen is, Derek. A pen or your computer or your phone. Here you go. The fortune is in the follow-up.
Mhm.
90, and listen, Derek, if you follow up, you're gonna win. Now, why can I say that never having met you? Derek, if you follow up, you're gonna win. How can I say that? Because you're born into a culture at exactly the moment in human history in which most people are stupid and lazy. See? Now, by stupid, I don't mean academically stupid.
Mhm.
I mean they act stupid because they're so damn distracted. So they act stupid. See?
Yeah.
And if you follow up, you're not stupid. So you're going to win because if you follow up, you're going to go through life like a hot knife through butter because your competition is stupid and lazy. See, they got much more important things to do. Did I mention
Mhm.
them? Coachella, Burning Man. Did I mention that? Did I mention Comic Con? How much
Yeah.
did you spend, Hannah? How much did you spend last year on your Halloween costume? And if it wasn't $200, you weren't trying hard. See, most Americans. Now, here's something fun. Derek, listen to this one, bro. You're gonna like this one, I think. American males earning under $50,000 a year. American males earning under $50,000 a year. During football season, they drink an average of 6 beers on Sunday. Now listen to this, Hannah. Since I don't drink any, somebody's drinking 12.
Mm. Okay.
They watch 3 football games, they drink 6 beers. Now, somebody's got to say, now wait a second here. What's wrong with watching a football game? Nothing, just not 3. See? Just not 3 unless you want to earn $50,000 a year or less.
Okay.
See? And here's something to consider, Hannah, and I think you know this very well. I don't think you put it in these crude terms, but I think you really know it. In the end, men lie
Mm.
and women lie,
Mhm.
but accurate numbers never lie and always tell a story.
Mhm.
Let's do it again. In the end, men lie and women lie, but accurate numbers never lie and always tell a story. Isn't
Yep.
that interesting? All right. Now, thanks, Derek. I hope that's of some modest help.
Love that. All right, let's see here. One other question. We're a little over our time, but
Okay.
we'll we'll keep going. But what is one of your favorite? This was a question from Kathy. She said, "What is one of
Where's
your
Kathy
favorite?"
from? Where's Sister Kathy from?
Oh gosh, I don't know where Kathy's at.
Oh, Kathy, come on, man!
Kathy,
You got
yeah.
to tell us where you roll. Okay.
Yes, but Kathy asked, "What has been your favorite industry to work within?" So, like, have you loved working with the musicians, or is it actors and actresses, or is it the authors? What's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
No.
I like working with inquisitive and interesting people who have something interesting and meaningful to say.
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking for shortcuts.
Mm.
I represented Ray Charles. Ray
Oh
Charles.
wow, I
Most
did
of
not know
you,
that.
yeah, Ray Charles. Most of you don't know who Ray Charles is. If you're young, look him up. Ray Charles. Ray Charles says, "Look, Michael, I'm not trying to get famous. I'm just trying to get good." See, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
yeah,
Michael, I'm not trying to get famous. Now, look, he's already famous.
yeah.
Michael, I'm not trying to get famous. I'm trying to get good. What are you trying to do? I said, Ray, I'm trying to get good. What about you? So I don't have a favorite industry, but I'll say this to you, Kathy. When I sense a client or a person has a greater capacity, need or capacity to self-destruct than
Mm,
to create, I'm out.
yeah.
See, if a person or a client or a team member has a greater need to self-destruct than to create, or if a person has a greater need to consume
Mhm.
than create, I'm out.
Yeah.
See, that's not for me.
Yeah, I was
If
gonna
you're
ask you, if you found yourself, like, over time being more selective with
yes,
who you're working with?
yes, more selective, more able to read people, watch what people say, of course, but watch what they do. See,
Yeah.
I can tell you what you love, Hannah. Now, I've never met you in person, but I can tell you what you love with 100% certainty if you'll show me two things. All you got to do is show me these two things, and I'll tell you with 100% certainty what you love, or anyone else listening. All you
Mhm.
got to do is show me your calendar
Mm,
and your checkbook. If you show me your calendar and your checkbook, I'll tell you with 100% certainty what you love. See, if I'm
mm,
working alongside someone and I say, hey, um, Nancy or Phyllis or Jose, have you ever been to Burning Man? And they say, Burning Man, Burning Man. Oh my God, Burning Man. I go every year. Oh my God, I'm going this year. I went last year. I spend so much money. I get the ticket. Unbelievable. You got to go. Burning Man, it's the great. Then I know they really like Burning Man. See,
mhm,
that's their passion. Work isn't their passion. Burning Man is their passion. See,
mhm,
because they've revealed it to me.
mhm.
Now, if they were half as excited about creating something valuable in their work, in their life, learning something about history, about how things happen, about persuasion, about people, about all of it. If they were
Mhm.
half as interested, they were at Burning Man or Coachella or Halloween or something like that, they might be doing better. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Okay. Anyway, any other questions, dear friend? I know you're running a little long, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No, we're good. I think you've covered a lot of some of these other questions of, who your first client was and all of those wonderful stories. So I think we're going to wrap things up today. Michael, thank you so much for being a guest today, and especially the fact that it's your birthday. But you know what? Since you said you were going in on a Saturday, even if it was your birthday, even if it was Burning Man, even if it was Coachella, I'm not surprised you still showed up for us here
Hannah,
today.
may I just end with one last thing?
Yes, of course.
I want to share a message, if I may, to Wayne, who may or may not hear this. But I just want to share one to him because that's how the whole damn thing started.
Yeah.
So may I do that?
Yes, please do.
Wayne, I just want to tell you that I love you and that I'm so proud of you. Really respect you a great deal, not only as a business owner, as a father, as a business owner, as a man. I just love you. I just am so impressed by what you have accomplished and who you are in this world. So I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to say it publicly so lots and lots of people heard it, because I know that would probably make you a little uncomfortable, but that's okay. That's cool.
That
So
is
anyway, Wayne,
that
I
is
love
so
you, and
true.
yeah, it is true. And Hannah, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for sharing your valuable audience with me.
Yes, of course. I hope you have a wonderful day, Michael, and a great rest of your birthday. Thank you to everyone who tuned in live, left a comment, DM'd us a question. I'm so appreciative for the audience that we are building and growing here on YouTube and Facebook and on LinkedIn. Next week, we will be back with another coffee chat, another internal guest team member at Ugly Mug with some more wonderful information on marketing. I'm really hoping to grow our external guests. So Michael has been a huge part of that. And thank you, Michael, again for making time for us. We will catch y'all next week, Wednesday, same time, same place, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. And Michael is tuning in and joining us and being interviewed at 8 a.m. his time, y'all. So for those of you who are on the West Coast Pacific time in LA, 8 a.m. for y'all. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will catch y'all next week for another coffee chat.